when it comes down to relationships, we must recognize that unclean spirit of the unfamiliar or the familiar. The familiar means something that, just click in and it reminds you of somebody. And it could be something good and sometimes it could be something bad. So this is what we're talking about right now when it comes down to that familiar spirit of the unclean, when it comes down to relationships. And how did you get there in the beginning? How did you get into it in the beginning? Due to the fact that a relationship is not just with husband and wife and boyfriend and girlfriend. It could be a relationship, a business partnership. It could be a relationship of your mentorship. It could be a relationship that you have built with family and you don't grew up with them. But sometimes everything is not good. And some things could be excellent, baby, and you will fight to the core to keep it that way. That is what we're talking about right now with relationship. So we done heard the buzz about marriages and the good part about marriages when it come down to Monique with a man that stands 10 toes down. I tell you, 10 toes down for Monique. And I tell you, that is a blessing. When you got a man that's standing right beside you and pushing for you and got your back. And a lot of women don't understand that feeling when you got, your king baby got your back and he got your back no matter how, further family members may come up, and they on that side, no, trying to talk about you. And he just standing up there, yeah, you're right, and just taking the weak side out because he don't want to make no problems with, your brother or your sister or your mother, that's the weak side. But when you have a man that will stand up and say wrong is wrong. But baby, let me tell you, this is my woman, this is my wife, this is my queen. And baby, back up right now. I'm telling you to back up because this is who I am twined with. Sometimes it's hard to find a man in that caliber. And it's hard to find a woman in that caliber that gonna go, how you say it, Monique, 10 toes down. Well, baby, it's hard to get that sometime. Because some men have not been raised that way. Some men have not been raised to go forth and say, I am the protector and I am the shield of that queen. Because some men have not had a strong man who was a king to build his kingdomship. But some men have had women who was queens who helped build them to excellence. And that's in Proverbs 31 when the queen was telling her son how to become a king. And sometimes it's what it takes for a woman to even teach a man. Oh, how you talking about a woman can't teach a man nothing, Miss PSKV? Oh, yes, they can. I tell you, yes, they can. And I got 4 kings. I done have 4 sons that come out of my womb. And I'm loving each and every one of them because I know that I am a queen. And yes, I have put in some strong details into my kingship. And that means my kingship is my sons and also into my brothers who are also kings, who I also help put that blessing inside of them because I am older than they are. So I was also able to push positive order into my brothers. And then going down the road, even down to my male cousins, and going on down the road, even down to my male neighbors. So a woman can teach and edify even down to the kings. Well, Monique, that is what you're doing right now. You're bringing it into the front line. You and Cat Williams doing it into the front line, talking about the blessing of relationships. So relationship do not just start, it do not just start. And I say it again, it do not just start when you just go in between the sheets, baby. Like Juanita Bynum would say, in between the sheets. No, it don't just start in between the sheet. It starts in the relationship of loving your partner and loving your friendship, loving your family from the heart. And now I tell you, marriages, some of them have the beauty of that, but there are some marriages that do not have that blessing. It is some marriages that, that did not have the respect because they wasn't taught how to respect marriages. So when they got into the marriage, they thought that this was something I could just keep on the shelf. I could just keep it on the shelf, and it'll be all right. It'll be all right because she's going to take whatever I give her because I am the man. And that means I can put her on the top shelf and I can go out there and be with this woman, that woman, this woman, that woman, because he did not honor her. He did not honor the flower. He did not honor the queen. He did not honor the woman that stopped him in that moment and said, I'm the one. And I just found her. That's what it said. A man finds a woman is a good thing. I just found her. And what he did? He looked at it as a rock that he could throw and break a glass window. And, that he can look through to see the next woman and the next woman and the next woman. That's about it. But we got to rise ourselves up and understand about familiar spirits and how we really got into that familiar order. How did you get into the familiar order? Because that means you did not clear it out of your soul to sit down, meditate, even if you have to sit down with a psychologist, just sit down, meditate, and get that old stuff out of you. That when the familiar demon come, you will be strong enough to identify it and say, no, not for me. That's the main thing, to recognize those things of the past, of the familiar. But you can never get deliverance from the familiar demonic spirit if you have never looked in the past to see your wrong. If you have never looked in the past, why I made that mistake, why you did that, what in the world was I thinking about, what in the world did I even got myself involved with, even down to a woman that been married, and then she turn around and get a divorce and find out I did the same thing that the other woman did. She was married to this man. I turned around and I was with this man before he ever got his divorce. And now we are together. And now I'm divorcing because he is now cheating on me with another woman, and treating her like she's the wife. And I am just sitting on the shelf. How did this come about? Have the beauty of that. But there are some marriages that do not have that blessing. It is some marriages that, that did not have the respect because they wasn't taught how to respect marriages. So when they got into the marriage, they thought that this was something I could just keep on the shelf. I could just keep it on the shelf. And it'll be all right. It'll be all right because she's going to take whatever I give her because I am the man. And that means I can put her on the top shelf and I can go out there and be with this woman, that woman, this woman, that woman, because he did not honor her. He did not honor the flower. He did not honor the queen. He did not honor the woman that stopped him in that moment and said, I'm the one. And I just found her. That's what it said. A man finds a woman is a good thing. I just found her. And what he did? He looked at it as a rock that he could throw and break a glass window. And, that he can look through to see the next woman and the next woman and the next woman. That's about it. But we got to rise ourselves up and understand about familiar spirits and how we really got into that familiar order. How did you get into the familiar order? Because that means you did not clear it out of your soul to sit down, meditate, even if you have to sit down with a psychologist, just sit down, meditate, and get that old stuff out of you. That when the familiar demon come, you will be strong enough to identify it and say, no, not for me. That's the main thing, to recognize those things of the past, of the familiar. But you can never get deliverance from the familiar demonic spirit if you have never looked in the past to see your wrong. If you have never looked in the past, why I made that mistake, why you did that, what in the world was I thinking about, what in the world did I even got myself involved with, even down to a woman that been married, and then she turned around and get a divorce and find out I did the same thing that the other woman did. She was married to this man. I turned around and I was with this man before he ever got his divorce. And now we are together. And now I'm divorcing because he is now cheating on me with another woman, and treating her like she's the wife and I am just sitting on the shelf. How did this come about? This comes about due to the factor that you did not recognize the familiar. The familiar going to come back one way or another. That's what you call karma, baby. Karma. Karma will come back, knocking on the door when you least expect it. I don't care if you could say, I was married to that man 10 years. I was married to that man 14 years, 15 years. But baby, if you done messed up his marriage or he done messed up his marriage and you became twined with him and he was the one that was doing the do, but you still became twined with him because you turned around and entwined yourself with a man that was broken, disrespectful, and now becoming an adulterer. Now not caring about the feelings of his wife, not caring about the feelings of that woman. This is exactly what happens when it comes down to familiars. Now the familiars come back to you. You don't like it. You don't like him staying out. You don't like that he now paying tickets, prices to go to Paris. You don't like these things, but you did not understand the feeling, the attitude, the heartbreak. You did not understand that feeling because, see, you wasn't living it. But once you start living that feeling, you understand I am receiving karma from the universe because I'm already did this. But see, when karma come and when familiars come, the familiar spirit will block your mind that you won't even see the karma right then and there. All you'll think about is what I am feeling, the hurt. I am feeling the pain. He did me this way. He did me. How dare him to do this to me? I was the one that made him leave that other woman. I am the one that he chosen to marry and divorce the other woman. Well, baby, let me tell you, karma is nothing to play with. And I don't care what nationality you are, what religion you are, baby, karma do not have no choice when it come back to you. When it come back to you. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. You know this Miss PSKV dropping some jewels to you, baby. This is Miss PSKV. Loving my babies out there to teach my babies and loving each and every one of you. That's right. I love you.
And I think my husband thought that, I don't know what he thought about me or what kind of person I was, but because he knew how I felt about infidelity. And I always used to tell him, hey, if something ever happens, tell me on the front end, because I'm going to hurt one way or the other, on the front end, on the back end. Just let me know, but don't play me for no fool. So he thought he got boo-boo the fool over here. So I was like, okay. And for Miss Girl that you saw in the video. All right, so that's what I'm just here to let you all know that I started seeing him before the divorce was final, but at no time did I go in try to destroy his marriage to any of that. And actually, before we started kicking it like that, I was encouraging him to try to work it out with his wife. I did. He tells me he needs to go away for 3 to 6 months for me to think about some things and to think some things over. And I was like, I need to think some things over. I was like, I don't need to think about anything. He was like, yeah, I need to go away so you can think about some things. So I'm like, okay. And this is a straw that broke the camel's back when he said this. And I knew that this man actually had no love for me and that he had been planning and plotting for a long time. He was like, yeah, and if you find somebody in that 3 to 6 month time frame, I'll understand. Now, who tell their spouse that? If they really love you, they don't want you all sleeping with nobody else. Not if everybody normal, ain't nobody sick or doing anything like that. So I knew then, I was like, I don't have but one other option. Divorce is the only option for me. And I tell you, I prayed about it, asked God about it. And when I tell you he was sending me signs, if you listen, he will send you signs. And he sent me sign after sign after sign, y'all. So I did. I filed for divorce. And each day I've gotten stronger. And I think my husband thought that, I don't know what he thought about me or what kind of person I was, but because he knew how I felt about infidelity. And I always used to tell him, hey, if something ever happens, tell me on the front end, because I'm going to hurt one way or the other, on the front end, on the back end. Just let me know, but don't play me for no fool. So he thought he got boo-boo the fool over here. So I was like, okay. And for Miss Girl that you saw in the video, yeah, she knew about me. He would have her at restaurants, hotels, games, had other women serving me my drinks. They feet under my table speaking to me, and he's sleeping with all these women. That is humiliating, y'all. So, you know what? I was like, if you give me shit to taste, I'm going to let you taste it back. So, to the airport video. Yeah, I was shocked. I was dismayed because that was my first time seeing them. I knew eventually that I would see them out somewhere. It's Atlanta, and hey, it's a small town. So, it's a big town, but it's a small town too. So, I was like, okay, I'm going to try my best to be classy and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes that just don't work. Because when you go in a gutter, when people go gutter with you, and I have to apologize to Michelle Obama. Girl, when you said that, when they go low, we go high, that ain't my motto. Because when they go low, I go lower. I go gutter. I'm going gutter. I'm going to swim down with the rats with your ass. So I was like, okay, yeah. So she knew, and she was on Instagram sending all her little subliminal messages and all of that. Like, yeah, okay, I got you, girl. But y'all, when all this is over, I got a little story to tell about her and the rest of his story too. Our story. It's actually our story because it's my story to tell. So I'll share more with you all, but let me tell you something. It's a cautionary tale. If you all want to move on, just say you want to move on, y'all. Because if you fuck around, you definitely...
I've really been thinking about my business and what a blessing it has really been this last 3 years, given everything that's happened, in the last 3 years. Really from going from a stay-at-home mom to owning a business to trying to figure out what I needed to, have this business and just really, really growing my business. And it didn't happen overnight, but it's been amazing, and I'm so grateful for it. That it's made me really think about a lot of the moms that stay at home, or women that are single and just want to start a side business, or just women in general, and how we all need something that we can definitely call our own. I don't think that I really realized how important it was for me to be able to find something that I loved outside of my kids and my family, and how important it was for me as a mom to have an outlet. And my travel business has really helped me do that. It's helped me to go places that I probably would have never been, because traveling is something that I truly do love. And I'm thinking that, this is something that I would love to expand. Like, I really want to grow my business and possibly teach others how to become travel agents, and do things that they love and make money while they're doing it. But I don't know how many people really would want to be, a travel agent. I think it's wonderful. That doesn't mean everybody else does. And trust me when I tell you that being a travel agent is really hard. It is very time consuming. The hustle is absolutely real for the client. But it has amazing benefits. It really, really does. I don't know if you've ever thought about being a travel agent or interested in travel at all. Hit me up and let's talk about it. Let's see what I can do with this. Forgive my appearance. I know I look crazy. I've been traveling.
I'm gonna bring this up. I wasn't gonna do it, but damn it, this seat.
I say you might want to have another sip over.
This seat make you go. Truth, tell it. No, tell the damn truth. God damn it, tell the truth, because family is sacred.
It's supposed to be,
and we don't cross the line with family.
Mm-hmm.
And people begin to get comfortable to jump on the Monique bandwagon of Monique doing things wrong, and she doing this and she doing that. And there's a brother named D.L. Hughley.
Yep.
And until he take accountability, I won't let it go.
What?
Because, what was you getting ready to say?
I was going to say, what did DL do?
Let me tell you. Baby, that voice went up, didn't it? DL is friend. He like, that's my friend.
No, I've met DL on several occasions. I don't know DL like that.
Okay.
Do I know DL say like I know an earthquake? No. Do I know, since I've interviewed Cat, had several conversations with him, do I know DL on that level? No.
Right. See, when we say family is sacred,
Right.
Family is sacred. And we know that you don't cross the line when it comes to family.
Correct.
Right? I do DL's radio show.
Yes.
DL Hughley is not there. His team is there. Mm-hmm. And Shannon, we having a great time. I mean, baby, we having a great time. We going forward, back and forth. When we get to the end of the show, they say, Monique, you want to play a game? Well, I want to play. I said, sure, sugar. Let's play a game. And it's a game called Would You Rather.
No.
Okay? Now,
Monique, you should have said I'm too old for this game.
Wait a minute. We're having fun, baby. Right? We're having a good time,
Okay,
Shannon.
okay.
It's the sister there and there's two other guys. We're having a great time. It's a beautiful Black unity cookout.
Okay.
We're having a good time.
Okay.
Would you say your wife was your family? Is that considered family?
Yeah.
So your husband is considered family, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So here we go. They said, Monique, we want to play a game of Would You Rather. Let's go. Would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Steffens without one?
Really, Monique?
Now, as y'all are watching right now who haven't heard this story, y'all going, they doing the same thing in the studio. They going, okay. That is exactly what happened. Now, I said to the team, how does that uplift our community? I said, sister, and her name is Jasmine, how could you ask another sister that? Well, we just planned. I said, tell me the joke in that, because I don't know what you're insinuating. Then you're involving people that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? So I said, I'm going to call my brother. DL. I'm going to call my brother. I call DL Hughley on the phone. I say, hey, baby. Yeah.
Huh?
That's how he responds. Yeah.
Did he know it was you?
Yes, because they called him to let him know Monique's going to be calling.
Right.
Like this, it was getting crazy.
Right.
I'm like, just let me get on the phone with my brother, right?
Yeah.
Hey, DL, yeah. I said, listen, I just got off the phone with your team, and they wanted to play this game, Would You Rather? And it was like, stupid. Like, asking me about my husband and Lee Daniels and Corinne Steffens, and his exact words, well, that's how we do it. I said, DL, how does that uplift our community? And again, I don't know what y'all trying to insinuate, but brother, what you doing? Like I said, that's just how we do it. So it is what it is. Now, it got so ugly that my attorney had to send a cease and desist. So it never aired. So we have, like, when Cat Williams talk and people, truth tellers talk, we have receipts to everything we're saying. That's how that whole thing got started, okay? It's family. My husband is my family.
Yeah.
Now, you babies that are really good with this internet, through the years, I've watched DL speak ill of me. Through the years. I never knew DL Hughley had a problem with me. But when Cat said they all a group, he forgot to put DL Hughley in the group. Mm-hmm. Through the years, I was bitter. I was dangerous with what I was doing, saying that it was inequality. My husband didn't know what he was doing. This went on through the years. I was unloved, all of these things. And I said to myself, I'ma see you. I'ma see you. I didn't go on nobody's show. I didn't say nothing to nobody, but I knew the time would come that I would see him. We were scheduled to do a show in Los Angeles. I was the headliner of that show. His name was on it, then his name came off. I didn't question it, but I knew I'ma see him, right?
Eventually.
Okay, now we have a show in Detroit. Contractually, I was the headliner. DL Hughley posted a memo. Now, when you signed your deal for the Ravens, did you sign a contract or a memorandum?
I signed a contract.
You see how you say that? Like anybody that knows good business, you sign.
Contract.
The memo is saying this is what I would like,
Right.
but the contract is saying this is what it is. Okay?
Yes.
He put out a memo to our community, and that touched me a little different because I was saying, why would you lie to our babies? Because now they're thinking if they send somebody a memo, that's what they're supposed to get. Okay? I was contractually signed to go as the headliner.
Right. I mean, you go last.
D.L. Hughley didn't come into the building until 9:30. Now, contractually, I said I have to be on stage by 9:30 because if the show starts at 8, I refuse to keep an audience waiting.
Right.
That is disrespectful to the audience.
Correct.
When I went out on that stage, Shannon, I made sure everything I said, he heard me. Because now you're here and I'm going to say it to you. And I said some things on that stage that I said he was cowardly. And some folks said, how could you say that? How could you do that? And then I posted some things to say, this is what I meant. See, you came after my husband. And when you had a chance to fix it, when you had a chance to say, Mo, my bad, you know, we don't even get down like that.
Right.
You told me it is what it is. And until he's brave enough and courageous enough to say, this is what really happened, y'all. Y'all have never known me to be no shit starter. Folks ain't never known me to go over and kick a sandwich out of somebody's hand that's hungry. But what people do know is, if you kick me, damn if I ain't gonna kick you back.
Right.
Because that's fair play.
Right.
So there was one left out the pack. And when you have people that continually don't take accountability, that's why you see us in the state of affairs we're in.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer, Mo, that everybody don't play the same. And someone once told me, what is joke to you is death to someone else.
What is joke? That's why we don't play with people's families. And D.L. Hughley, please, no, brother, we still love you. Just take accountability for it. And we move forward. And then when you have some of our black folk that go sit in front of a white man and speak ill of their people, I'm like, y'all, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we coming to that we're going to sit in front of this white man? I can't even say his name. I refuse. Everybody know who he is. We sit in front of him and we just let this man say any and everything about us, and then we go right in with him. That to me is dangerous. And y'all babies that's good with this little computer, don't take my word. You can just go through the years of this cat just running his mouth. And it's like, stop doing that, because what are we saying to the babies coming behind us?
In a same old order, but it just changed up a little, you know. But when you go back in the past and look at it and you say, wait a minute, this is the same thing. It's the same exact thing, because you did not take time to know what you have outgrown and what now that you have accomplished, that you have received your greatness. See, this is how the unclean spirit of familiar can take over and take control, is because when we have not looked at that past and meditate. That is why the word of God tells us to meditate. Meditate day and night, night and day. And that means meditate on the things that we have accomplished, that we have achieved. Meditate on the things that we are not that, good about. We don't feel that good about it, but still we have to meditate, because we're going to learn something from those things that we may not be happy about, but you have to conquer over it. So now that spirit will not come back again in another disguise, but it'll be the same old, same old. And you'll say, how in the world did that happen? It'll be a different person, but it could be the same old thing. A different person, but the same old thing. A different location, but the same old thing. Until you have now overcome that situation by rising yourself up and learning about the familiar. Yes, the familiar. So the familiar means that, last year or 3 years ago, you may have been dating, and this person, could have been unfamiliar. Now you just got into the dating and you thinking that everything gonna be just fine because you just in it a 5-year relationship. Now this is just an example. Now some of you now this example, you know who I'm talking to. But this example is telling you 5 years you've been dating this person. And this person was not the best, and this could be a male or a female. And they was not the best for you, They was not trustworthy. They was always trying to hide things, and they was always not believing in what you had to do, what you was doing, what you was working on. It was like, I just don't care. I don't want to be bothered. Just do you. I'm just fine. Just do you. But now, when you look at the situation that you've been entrapped with that person for 5 years, no growth, no elevation. Next thing you know, you've been doing all the work. You coming home, you doing the cooking. I'm just going to make my baby feel good. I'm going to just cook, go shopping, get the food, and come back home. And you've been tired. Just came from a long days of work. So you've been, you are very tired. I'm not going to say you've been tired because I don't want to go into that broken word. But you are tired because you just came from your job. You just got off. And now you could have been traveling on the train. You could have been traveling, through the car, getting into your beautiful luxury car or your hoopsie or whatever car you have is a blessing that you got one. But anyway, you get into your vehicle or you get on the train and now you got to get out out of your vehicle, run into the supermarket to get the stuff that you need. Or you got to climb up, the stairs, get out the subway. Then after that, after being around all of these here crowded of people, then go in the supermarket, get what you want, and then carry them bags. Now, this goes on over and over again, month after month, year after year, because this relationship is 5 years. And you're doing the same old, and you running home cooking, male or female. You running home bringing the food, the groceries, and you spending your money. Babe, that's all right. I'll catch you the next time. Oh, you did all of this for me? Oh, and don't forget, on Friday, you running now. You really running because you want to get the flowers. You want to get everything smelling good. And you want to get that Simon. You want to do everything in excellent. But yet now, out of all this that you doing, that person not doing that. Next thing you know, you coming home, on a Wednesday, Thursday, you grabbing up the clothes, you going to the laundry, or you running downstairs, to go and, wash the clothes, all of these things you doing it in the 5 years of this relationship. But guess what? This is not your husband. This is not your wife, and out of all this you going, this person done got so comfortable with you because that means that he or she eating a cake, and they getting the order of being a wife to you or a husband to you, without all of the trimmings. So now here you are doing all the household things, making sure this man or this woman comes back home and everything is right in order. But you now not saving your money, but he's saving his or she's saving hers for the rainy day. Because this is what narcissists do. They will make sure that they money go for themselves. But when it come down to you spending all the money, you making sure the bills are paid. And what you're doing now, you have came into now adopting this person as now a child. They now not your man, they not your woman, they have become a child because now they are dependent on your every need. That's the major that you're doing. The major. Now that you got this here, you can see the vision of it. That you are tied up and you doing everything you can do to make sure that this perfect relationship, is so perfect. And now all of a sudden, let me tell you what happened now. He or she, because this can happen to either one, either group, But let's go on to it and just say this now is she, Now, What happened is she done did everything that she could do to make sure that she is the best, partner, the best woman, the best girlfriend, all of the titles that you can put on that, that relationship, that is who she is. And now this man comes home and he said, you know something, babe, I'm so sorry to tell you, but this is not working out for me, you know. And while he's telling you this now, he is over there, taking his stuff out the drawers. He going in the closet. He's packing up his stuff. And you saying, what happened? What did I do? What happened? This is not working for me. Where you going? You got somebody else? No, I went and I got my own place, and I just want, to be by myself right now. This is not working for me, but when this happened, I thought that we got this together, where did you get the money from? What happened? Why you, you leaving me just like that? All of this become a shock to you because now they done went out, behind your back, while you paying all the bills, you cooking all the food, and you buying all the food on your salary. And while you doing all of this man done went and got his own place. He done furnished his own place. All of that. I'm telling you, he ain't walking back, going into his new place now or, messed up. He going into his place, with prestige. He's going into his place with everything in a comfortable order, down to the kitchen, everything is done. And you saying, but how did that happen? You done taught him in them 5 years how to maintain a house. You done taught him in 5 years where he didn't even have to wash the clothes, do that. But he's watching you. He's watching you and getting comfortable with that situation. But now he said, just like a child have grown up and said, I'm off to college now. I have graduated and I am ready to get out this house. And I am going, by you, because you have mothered this man. This man have not become a partner. He has just become just as adopted child to you, adopted son to you, and so that's what happens with relationships, that you now is taking that relationship to take care of someone who is a full adult, a grown man or a grown woman, without understanding that both of you coming into the relationship that have duties and have a responsibility to grow the relationship. But you are the only one growing this relationship. So what ended up happening? Now he have outgrown, that baby fied order, and he have outgrown it so deeply that he said, well, I'm going to save my money. I don't have to spend my money. I don't have to spend nothing. She got this. Now he's comfortable with you taking care of everything. And now he done went and saved his money on the side. And then sometimes he can invest his money on the side, invest it where you don't even know he's doing investments. But no matter, out of this 5 years, he is so comfortable now, or she is so comfortable that they can now jump up and move. And baby, they ain't gonna move in no any old thing. They got their thing all pulled together, right then and there. So now the relationship is ended. He done went his way and you done went your way. And now you said, I got to start all over. My savings is all messed up because I was taking all my money, doing all of this, and my savings is not right. I have not done, good with my savings, and now I got to start over. So that was 5 years. Now, out of all of this here, you done turned around 5 years. You done said, okay, 5 years ago, this happened. I was in a 5-year relationship. Now 5 years done passed. And now that means you are single. You've been living a single life for 5 years straight. The same equal amount of time that you have done the the relationship that was totally out of order. It was totally, messed up. It was a disastrous, situation. So now you say, okay, I'm back on the market. I'm back dating, I'm back dating, male or female. I'm back out there. I'm doing my thing, right then and there. And so next thing you know, here it is. While you dating, you thinking everything is good. He liking you, and or you liking her, or whatever way you want to put that situation. But we still going with this here, the female order right now. So now she, now after the 5 years, and she been, burnt. She been hurt. She been scorned. She been all of these things, but now she right back out that door. And now she got enough courage. She done saved her money, and she done got out of that situation. Oh, well, wow, wow. She out of it. It's a high, high blessing that she out of it. She feeling good about herself. The Well, she is now inspired to date someone. So now while she getting all this here going on, and she said, okay, I'm going to date now. So she go into the date, and now this first person that she go into the date, the enemy, he already know about that situation of the past, of the 5 years before. You had a 5-year relationship with somebody, and then 5 years now that you have not been in that relationship, you are not with that person. He have moved on. Elevated his life and moved on with someone else and gone on by his business, and now there's finally got yourself over, from that water. You are healed. You feeling good. But let me tell you, the enemy knows about your bad habits that you did not get rid of because you never wanted to meditate on this. You never wanted to say, what did I do wrong? What did I do? He just left me like that. And I was doing all of this, and I was loving him and all of this. And he just left me. But you never thought about the pattern of the things that you was doing that was causing the chaos even on your own life, because you now took this man and adopt him as a son. You took this woman and you have adopted her as a daughter. And I speak to the males and the females in that order, but we still on the subject that this relationship is now about the female. And this female now then turned around. She was in a relationship with a man that she adopted as a son. Not her man, not her lover, not the one that, she was looking forward to marry, but she treated him as he was now her biggest responsibility, nurturing him and building him up and rising him. Just hand feeding him, putting that food right into his mouth. I'm telling you, it's just like he's saying, mommy. Some man, oh, mama, mama, mama. No, please don't call me mama. I'm not your mother. I'm your woman. I'm your wife. I'm your lover. I'm all of these things, but I'm not your mother. But a lot of times that's what get mixed up. You don't want no relationship and turn around and say, that's your mother. Don't call me mama. Don't call me mama. Don't call me mama, because I am your woman. So you have to get that straight. Don't call me daddy. I'm not your father. I'm your man. Get that straight, so that it won't cross over, that you go into that adoption. That adoption that you are now raising a grown man. You are now raising a grown woman. You want to move from that situation. Oh, baby, we want to move from that situation. That's right. So now, as I'm speaking, as I'm talking, as I'm, how Miss PSAV do, we got to get it all going on over here. So this is about that familiar spirit. Remember, that's what was the beginning of the subject on this podcast. It was about the familiar spirit. So now she don't recognize that she going into this dating. She did not meditate. She did not study. She did not even have a journal. She didn't have nothing to look back at. Or she did good riddance. You say you leaving me, and now I got to start all over, and that is it. But baby, your feelings been hurt. You've been hurt to the core, and right then and there, you've been hurt. Also, too, in that relationship, you've been spending so much time with him when you was in that 5-year relationship, even down to your friend zone was messed up. Even down to your family of siblings was messed up. Even down to family members, and you had to change jobs, and all of this could have happened in that 5 years because all your attention was into that person. But now you have outgrown that situation and you have a better job. Oh, yes, you have a better job and you doing it good. Oh, yeah, yes. Let me give you, that high five. Let me give you that big old star that say, excellent, excellent. You did a good job because you got that thing going on now and you feeling good about yourself. Oh, baby, you feeling good. So this new man done came in. And talking to the men's out there or that new woman, this new man done came in and he done turned around and said, can I take you out? Can we go out? I've been watching you. And it could be from your job. It could be, in the community. It could be wherever, or if another friend could, introduce you. Whatever way you done met this man. But guess what? That familiar spirit is right there lingering because you never rebuked it, you never denounced it, you never came into grips with it, and it's right there because you did not get rid of your bad habits. This is something that you was accustomed of doing. You never got rid of it. So now this new man come in and you sitting at dinner and and you want to just prove yourself to him that I am the best. I am the best. Oh, so next week, baby, this been good. We've been going out for, a couple weeks, and so next week I'm inviting you to my house and I'm going to fix you a beautiful dinner. Okay, do I have to bring any? Oh, no, no, no. You don't have to bring anything. You just bring yourself and it'll be just fine. So you're going into your habits. You don't think that you're going into your habits, but you're going into your habits. So what happened is you leaving that job, you rushing now. You may be getting into your bins, baby. You may be getting into your bins now because you have elevated. You have elevated. So you getting up in that car and you riding all over there and you going up into that, to that grocery store, not on any kind because you done elevated. So you up in the gourmet spot, baby. You up in the gourmet and you going to get your flowers. You going to get everything and the house smelling good. Everything is just right. Everything is just so, comfortable, so beautiful. And the candles burning, all of this going on. So when this man comes in and tap on that door, he's smelling all the good food. He's smelling all the beautiful candle aromas and the essence are all coming together. And he walking all up in there. And baby, you are dressed to be, just as you just going, getting ready to have a photo shoot to go over there, to do your photo shoot for Essence, or for Vogue. Miss PSKV love laughing. And I tell you, you all up into that thing. And now you up there, I'm telling you, the food is smelling good. Everything is so good. And you got that thing going on. And he didn't pay $1 for none of that food. And you went got top notch, baby. And right then and there, he sit down, he eat. And then he said, oh, do you want me to help you with the dish? Oh, no, 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 no. I got it. I got it. I got it. You're going back in your same old ways. I got it. I got it. And so after everything is over with, and everything is so smooth and everything, it turned out to be the best of the best. So next thing you know, he turn around and you get all comfortable with him. And instead of him walking back out that door, you say, oh, that's all right. You can stay over if you want to. You see how quick you're going back into the same old, same old? This is not your husband. You understand me? It's not your husband. You have not even built up a relationship with this man. But you saying, okay, you can stay on over. But I didn't bring over. You don't have to. I have, my towels. You got your toothpaste up in there. I got extra toothbrushes. Whatever you need, baby, I got it. I got it. And that's it. So you have invited him into the house, and now he have not left the house. And this is probably first time being over there. Y'all have been going out, going, to restaurants, doing your thing for those weeks. But now when he come into your house, he see all the luxury. He see all the beauty. He seeing, oh, baby, this woman can cook. Oh, wow, that food was, I mean, good, good, good. So now before he leave, you done got up because you was the weekend. You done got up and made a beautiful breakfast. Not only dinner, but she made me breakfast too. You done made this man comfortable. And now you going right back into the same unfamiliar because you didn't get rid of those areas. You are going right back, adopting a man to be now a son. One of your sons, one of your children that you are rising up. So a lot of women have done this here. And a lot of men have done this without even recognizing that they are doing it. And the only thing that it helped the next woman where she ain't got to do all of that work. It helped the next man that he ain't got to do all of that work because now they've been, broken and trained. And that's it. But you've been left with the burden because you've been left going into the same old pattern, the same old pattern, the same old pattern because it's a familiar, because you never got rid of the familiar. So that is the main thing about 2024. You don't want to be picking up what you left behind 5 years ago. You don't want to be leaving nothing behind, that you have to say 2018, I left that thing behind, and you still operating with 2018 because you never got cleansed. You never got purified. You never allowed your mind to go in and start thinking about your bad habits. The thinking about the things that you don't need to be doing anymore. That is the major thing that we have to learn to allow ourselves to come into the excellence of the Most High God and say, Lord, thy God, Yahweh, show me my bad habits and rebuke them off of my life. I don't want to go back into that same old and be rooted up. And now who is rooting you up? Not the man that went to a witch doctor or doing witchcraft or voodoo or roots or whatever you want to call it. You have rooted your own self up because you refuse to say, let me sit down, let me meditate, let me pray, let me start thinking about what did I do wrong. What did I do wrong? And not even going to even buying you some self-help books to even read and say, let me read on somebody else's perspective. Let me listen to someone else. Maybe they can help me. It's too much information out here that we cannot learn to elevate, to move ourselves from those familiar spirits. The blood of Yahshua HaMashiach. You hear me call the blood, the blood, the blood. And this is Miss PSKV, and I'm loving each and every one of you. But yes, I call on the Most High to give me wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I'm not getting religious on you, babies, but I just got to tell you, I believe in my faith decree as well. But I tell you, my faith decree had me to meditate. My faith decree had me to, sit down and start writing things down that said, what in the world is going on with me? What do I need to better myself? How do I better myself? And I have to chastise myself in this. I should not have been doing that. I was all out of order. What in the world was wrong with me? See, I tell you, that is the best thing. When you can come and talk to yourself, just tell yourself, self, you're not doing that no more. No self, we not, now is the we, because now I am conscious. I am conscious. And now my conscience is speaking now to say, self, we are not doing that no more. Because I am conscious of the past. I am conscious of the things that was out of order. And I will not allow myself to go through the hurt, the pain, and the suffering any longer. That's just PSKV. And that means that we're going to study our self-approval. We're going to study our self-approval. We're going to read. We're going to study. And we're going to study ourselves by also looking back. That's why it's good to, when you're going through a hurting situation and you're going through pain, sorrow, whatever, baby, it's good to write things down. It's good to write things down to get that thing out of you and write it down. And then you go back and you read it. And then you read and put down which changes do you want in your life. And then when you turn around and write it down, and the next you think, Yahweh will start making moves for you. Because now you're going to go back and you're going to read it and say, Lord, I thank you for taking me out of this situation. I don't feel that way no more because I am healed. I am healed because I refuse to let the familiar take over my life and take control of my life and ruin my life. Ruin now. You don't want it to be ruined because you now have taken control and you are conscious. And now that what is trying to get stuck in the sublime, you say, oh no, you're not going to be stuck in the sublime. That sublime means that's familiar. It will come out of you without you knowing it. Just as fast as the example telling you it was 5 years that she was in a relationship. And out of them 5 years of that relationship, she stayed single for 5 more years single. The same amount of time she was in a 5-year relationship. So next thing you know, what she comes up with. She meets somebody, she welcomed them in all her newness that she had elevated and built up. And she went right back into the same old habits. Right back, running to go and get the food, running to do this. Oh, I got it, I got it. And you think that I got it just changed? He got comfortable. And next thing you know, he had moved in. Next thing you know, it's already 3 years and he's in the same situation where he don't have to pay for anything. Because, baby, she says she got it. This is Miss PSKV coming to you in the comfort of your home. Don't get stuck. It's better to take the time to meditate, to go over that situation, that you will not get stuck in the same old, that you trying to get rid of. And you telling everybody, I ain't going there like no more. He out of my life. She out of my life. And that is it. But baby, if you have not, removed that situation, that it will not go into the sublime, because the sublime means that you acting like it never happened. And so the sublime is going to take you right back, because that is something that you did not have, yourself going in working on yourself. You just went into a routine and that routine grew on you. So time that man comes in, that's some sublime going to have you thinking this is the same old situation. So your body going to move the same way. That's right. Your mind going to go back into the same old. All of that will happen if you do not work on yourself. Oh, yes, baby. You got to work on yourself. You got to work on yourself. That's right. This is Miss PSKV coming to you. That's right. Coming to you in the comfort of your home. And Miss PSKV, love you. And I'll be talking to you soon. Love you.